Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Logging on to Inspire is a pretty simple activity, and we just like to give you kind of the context around what JA Inspire is, what to expect for the day or two that you're participating, and then be here to answer any questions that you may have. So I'm going to share my screen. Um, can everybody see that okay? Wonderful. So JA Inspire really came about in the midst of the pandemic. We used to do an in-person career fair down in southeastern Utah with our Monument Valley schools. And the pandemic hit in March, and we were supposed to go in April. And so we quickly pivoted to an online platform. And initially, we thought it would be a temporary solution. But what we found is we were able to meet so many students and schools throughout both Utah and Idaho in our urban and our rural areas. And it was something that both middle and high schools really were asking for. It was fitting a need that they had in their college and career classes, in their CTE classes in high school. And so we have continued to grow this program. So it's been really fun over the last few years to see new companies participate and really give students the chance to explore different careers, different industries, and make them aware of kind of what's out there and what opportunities they have. So on our online platform, it is available to students all year long. Teachers and students can log onto the platform, they can watch videos, they can click on your booth that talks about your business and explore videos and documents and links on your booth. But we also offer twice a year on two back-to-back days, the opportunity for students to interact live with our business volunteers. And that's really the magic of this and how it simulates a career fair is that we want to give students the opportunity to act just as if they're walking into a convention center and walking up to a table at your booth and talking to you about your job and what you do, and give them a chance to ask questions. And those questions may vary from what was your degree in college to what do you do day to day or what's your favorite part of your job? And then you get to answer on the other end of that. So we do this by hosting our online platform at jautahhinspire.vfairs.com. Shannon should have or will be sending out all of this information as well, the URL, your logins, and then frequently asked questions that we like to provide to any of our volunteers. So on the day of the event, the students will be logging in anywhere between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., depending on what class period they have the relevant class. So you will go in and just click log into event. It will have your email as your username, and then Shannon generally will just provide you with a generic password, or if you or somebody at your business has already created these logins, then they should have a different password for you to use. So once you put that email and password in, it takes you to the exterior of the career fair, and you'll just click on go here to enter. And that will take you into the main lobby. So as you can see, it's meant to kind of look and feel like a career fair. The students will have the opportunity to participate in some fun activities on the live day, like a leaderboard and a scavenger hunt that takes them from business to business and encourages them to earn points by doing things like asking a professional question in your booth or watching a video or clicking on other items that are available to them. So when you log in, you'll look for your specific booth, and you can do that in a couple of ways. You can see down here in the middle, it says exhibit hall, and you can click on that, and that is linked to the exhibit hall. You'll also, under this red circle, you can't see it, but you could click on the exhibit hall text there as well. Or you can simply go up into the search bar and start typing the name of your business, and it will populate, and you click on that. So once you are at your booth, on the live day, there will be a Q&A button. This button only appears for our live days, so students aren't asking questions there throughout the entire school year, only on those days where we have representatives on the other end who can answer those questions. So you, as the booth rep, will click on the Q&A button, and then a window will pop up. And this is where the students can ask questions. So you'll see their question appear in gray. And then you will reply to that by clicking reply, and a little window will pop up and you'll type out your reply. And then you have to hit like submit or next or respond for it to actually post. So a couple of things with the questions is that your response will only appear as an answer to the question if you push reply. If you simply just go into an empty text box and type in your answer, it will post to the chat, but not in response to the question. So it will kind of just look like a random response there. So for students to be able to actually view the question, you have to respond to the question, and then it will post back in the box. The other thing is nobody on the platform except for JA admin and the booth reps will see any of the questions until they are responded to. And we do that for a couple of different reasons. We don't like a whole bunch of unanswered questions to be in the chat. So if a student or a few students have asked questions and they haven't yet been replied to, if another student logs on, it will just look like a blank screen. They won't see anything in the chat until you reply to that. And the second reason is we as JA staff are constantly monitoring the chat. We know that we're dealing with middle and high school students. They're still sometimes learning online etiquette. And so we always want to make sure that the questions that are being posted are appropriate and that are relevant to careers and to your industry. So we will have JA staff on the platform, just keeping an eye on the chat and making sure that the students are asking great questions that you can respond to. If you're seeing a lot of the same question, you don't have to reply to everything, or you can just reply, please see my response above. You also do have the ability to hide a question if you want to do that. If it's just something that is like let's say somebody just types in hi or just something that's not really a robust question, you can hide it. If you ever see something though that you feel like needs to be addressed by the teacher or by a JA staff member, again, we will try our best to just immediately get on and catch those. But if you see anything, please take a screenshot of that and email it to Shannon or any other JA staff member. And then we'll make sure if it's something that we need to reach out to the middle school or high school teacher, that can often be the case where they just have to remind their seventh graders, make sure you guys are asking good questions in the chat. But it just gives us a chance to have that visual representation so that we can show the teachers. Another feature that we have in the chat is you can pin your comments or questions. So if you log in at the very beginning and introduce yourself and say, hi, my name's Brittany, I'm with JA, you can pin that to the top so that students see that first when they log in. Or if you have just a really stellar question that you feel like you want to make sure all of the students see from a student, you can pin that to the top as well. So are there any questions about answering those questions in the chat, making sure that you're replying to them, or any of the other functions within the Q&A? Great. On your platform, you will also notice there's an orange bar at the top, and there is a notification icon. So if you receive either a new question in your chat, or let's say a student asked a question, you responded to it, and then they had a follow-up comment to that, anytime something new pops up in your chat, you will see this notification. Oftentimes we have folks who are still doing their regular job and have Inspire open on a second monitor, or you're kind of toggling back and forth between those things. And that just enables you to keep an eye on it while still being able to do other things while you are working. The next section just kind of walks you through the backend setup. Are any of you on the call responsible for creating any of the setup of your booth or adding new users to your booth? Okie doke.
No.
I think if that's the case, we probably don't need to pop into that. But like Shannon mentioned, if you've all been using one login, it's great to have your own so that your name appears when you're answering a question. And so Shannon can take care of that. And on the live day, if you have any questions or issues, Shannon will be the person that you reach out to. and she can help you if you have login issues. We always appreciate your feedback. One thing that we have noted, and we work with VFairs who manages our platform, sometimes when our volunteers are typing in a response, there can be a half a second lag after you've typed a few words into the chat, and then it kind of just pauses for a half a second. If that's the case, please know that we have reached out to VFairs and they are working on, really streamlining that process to make it more smooth. But at any time, if you have questions or suggestions, please let us know. VFairs adding that notification symbol to the top was a result of a volunteer saying, it would be really great if there was something so I didn't have to keep going back on my chat and checking. And that's something that they worked on their end. And they now provide that to all JAUSA areas who do the JA Inspire platform. So we really appreciate your feedback there. And then I'll just open it up if there's any questions at all. Shannon, is there anything else that you'd like to add to that? Oh, you're muted, sorry.
Just a little feedback kind of for how the day goes. I'm not sure. Some of your organizations have several that will be participating. I don't know if you've split the 2 days up into chunks of time, but we also want you to know the expectation isn't that it will take all of your intention the entire time. Most of the time, our volunteers just kind of have a tab open on their desktop. They can go about their work and then just check in here and there to answer any questions that are there. It definitely doesn't take your whole day and all of your time to be answering questions. So feel free to just kind of pop in and out every 10 or 15 minutes to answer a question. And then if there are any issues with logins, we would really love for you to try them out. So I will send a copy of this recording with your logins to everyone. If you can just take a minute or two prior to Tuesday morning to make sure that you can log into the platform. Sometimes we've heard that there's some firewall issues, and that would give us time to work with your IT departments to open that up for you so that the morning of students aren't waiting and you're not feeling frustrated with shortness on time. So I'll send those out to you probably tomorrow morning with this recording and then let us know if there's any issues with the logins. So we're appreciative that you're all willing to take some of your time out of those 2 days next week. The students, it's really an exciting day for them on the platform. They receive hourly notifications of winners for the scavenger hunt and leaderboard. So we get a lot of feedback from our teachers of how exciting it is when it pops up that a student from their school won that hourly winner. So it really is kind of like a field trip in a day for them, which middle school, junior high, and high schools, they don't really get those fun party days anymore. So it's a fun time for them during that class period. So does anyone
Um,
have any other questions?
I was going to add just two more things. The first is we have had the question before. Is it okay if several people are logged in and answering questions at the same time on the booth? And we would say yes, absolutely. We've had folks that work in all sorts of different areas within the same organization. And it's great for students to see that. For instance, you might be a credit union, but not everybody works in finance. Some people do HR, some people do accounting, some people do marketing. And so it gives them kind of that breadth of knowledge around what the business is and how there can be all sorts of different job titles within the same company. And you all have different life experience and education and backgrounds. So it really gives them a chance to see different perspectives from people at the same company. And then the second thing that I was going to add is if you have any just really wonderful questions that you see from the students in the platform, we love hearing that feedback, and teachers really love when we pass that along to them. So as you're going about your days and you're logged onto the platform next week, if you just see a question that you're like, that's very insightful, or I loved this dialogue back and forth with the students, feel free to send that over to us. And we'll notify the teacher and say, you had a student in your third period class that just asked such a wonderful question. And that's really good feedback for them to see as well. All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, we'll let you go. Thank you again for giving of your time today and next week. We are here to support you and help you. So if any questions come up in the meantime, please let us know.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Richard, you're with Delta, is that right? And Sarah and Rob, what organization are you with?
Hi, sorry, this is Sarah with Chick-fil-A.
Oh, great. Okay. And is Rob also with Chick-fil-A? I think that he might be. It's okay.
Either way, yep. If you hopped on late, Sarah.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, this is Richard. Yeah, I'm with Delta.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right. Shannon will go ahead and send out that recording too if you missed any at the beginning.
We're
Hi,
excited.
Rob.
It will be a fun day. Don't feel hesitant at all to reach out with any questions the day of or the before or after anything we can help with. So
Alrighty. Thanks so much, you guys.
Sounds like fun. Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.